comes first. This is ABC 7 Extra.
Welcome to ABC 7 Extra Sunday. Good evening, everyone. I'm Mark Ross. 1 week from tonight, it's Hollywood's biggest night, the Oscars, and you can watch them here on ABC 7. Tonight, we have a preview of the 97th Academy Awards as we take a look at the nominated films, directors, actors, and actresses. And here to give us some insight, Felipe Solis, a member of the Broadcast Film Critics Association. Felipe, it's always a pleasure to have you on.
It's wonderful. You know, this is kind of like my Super Bowl, although this year, I really don't know who to select. I'm just kind of going on a whim.
Okay.
So here we go.
All right, so Emilia Perez leading the pack, 13 nominations. Wicked and The Brutalist each had 10 nominations. A Complete Unknown and Conclave with 8 nominations each. Let's start, first of all, with the nominees for Outstanding Actress in a Supporting Role. We have Monica Barbaro in A Complete Unknown, Ariana Grande in Wicked, Felicity Jones in The Brutalist, Isabella Rossellini in Conclave, and Zoe Saldana in Emilia Perez. All right. Monica Barbaro, we don't know too much about her other than the fact that she played opposite Tom Cruise in Top Gun 2.
That's right.
But she's nominated for her role as Joan Baez in A Complete Unknown.
Which is a really fantastic portrayal. I really enjoyed that movie. I was looking at films this year saying, what is entertaining, what is interesting, what is disturbing, how do we go with this? And A Complete Unknown was, as far as my era, to see someone like Joan Baez coming to life on the screen alongside Bob Dylan in the form of Timothée Chalamet. She's quite wonderful, but I think she has some growing to do. I don't think this is going to be her year.
All right. Some people may not realize it, but, you know, Ariana Grande, a music superstar, but she got started on Broadway 17 years ago in 13 the musical. But here, she's Glinda the Good Witch in Wicked.
I loved Wicked, and Wicked was so incredible at the box office. It's been very interesting watching the award season roll because I thought Wicked was going to just sweep it when it came out. I'm like, well, here we go. And it doesn't seem to be the darling of any of the award shows. And so I don't know if the Oscar is going to be the same way. I think she's delightful. I think she's Oscar worthy. I don't know. Stay tuned. Is the best way to handle Wicked. I don't understand how it got swept to the side, but it did. Maybe it's because the part 2 comes out and people want to wait, critics,
but at the same time, it's a very commercial motion picture.
Absolutely.
And the Oscar voting base not big on commercial movies, it seems.
Sometimes, I mean, it depends. 100 years ago, well, not 100, maybe 60, movies like Ben-Hur that were just these epics. Last year, we had Oppenheimer, which was just boom, and it just stayed there. But Wicked didn't seem to get that award buzz that movies of that kind usually do.
Now, Felicity Jones won a BAFTA, that's the British equivalent to the Oscars, as well as a Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actress for playing Adrian Brody's wife in The Brutalist. Does she have the inside track maybe for an Oscar?
I don't know. This is my problem with this year. I really felt she was a little miscast in The Brutalist, to be very honest. And now that so much has come out with respect to The Brutalist, with AI adjusting performances of the two main actors and their accents, it makes me say, wait a minute. How do we judge an actor or actress? Is that going to be the new way to do it? Is it whoever has the best adjustments wins? That's my problem. But when I first watched The Brutalist, I was saying to myself, why did they cast Felicity Jones? But she did very well. She held her role very well. The end is really very sensational in how she handles it. But I don't...
All right, now Isabella Rossellini.
Yes.
in Conclave as Sister Agnes. I mean, not a lot of dialogue for her, though.
Not a lot. She's silent but deadly, and that's what's so fantastic about her role. She has such an important role in this film. What I loved about Conclave was the fact that as a film, as the screenplay, that 20 minutes in, the denouement, all the things they teach you in Screenplay 101, Conclave is the perfect example. The acting is excellent. It moves quickly. It's not 3.5 hours. And again, there's Isabella Rossellini. Whoa! And she makes such an impact in the film. This would be such a tribute to her mother, which she said she wasn't expecting an Oscar nomination. She cried when she heard about it, and she just hopes that her mother is watching from up above, who was an Academy Award winner 3 times. So she said just to be there at the age of 72 is remarkable for her. I'm rooting for Isabella.
Now, we still have Zoe Saldana, who was probably best known for her roles in the Avatar movies and the Star Trek movies. She won a Golden Globe.
Yes, she did.
For playing the lawyer in Emilia Perez. And she also has won a Critics' Choice Award and a BAFTA. This is kind of stepping outside of her comfort zone in a singing role. I mean, you don't expect her to sing.
No, and there are so many. When I first saw Emilia Perez, again, as a voter, I watched these films early on before people start to say things and criticize and put ideas in your head. She was good, but not good enough. I can't imagine her walking away with gold. It could happen because even at Critics' Choice, it's the first award that comes up, Best Supporting Actress, and it was Zoe Saldana, and I'm like, really? I mean, I was even surprised at that point that Felicity Jones, and there were some other actresses who were nominated for that particular category, but I don't know. That's my problem. I'm rooting for Isabella, but it could be anybody's guess.
What will the Academy vote for? That's the thing.
Who is on their radar?
All right, let's go to the nominees for actor in a supporting role. We have Yura Borisov in Anora, Kieran Culkin in A Real Pain, Edward Norton in A Complete Unknown, Guy Pearce is The Brutalist, Jeremy Strong in The Apprentice. Now, we don't know a lot about Yura Borisov. He's a movie star in his home country of Russia, but he's won he's won awards in Russia, but
15.
Here in Anora, he's playing a thug who's brought in to help straighten out the son of the Russian oligarch who marries the stripper. I mean, we don't really know too much about him.
We don't. He was interesting. He had a very interesting role in the film. I wasn't a fan. I know a lot of people were. I wasn't, for a variety of reasons.
So who's your
I can't imagine he'd walk away with it. I can't imagine, and I was extraordinarily surprised that he was on the list. Again, he's a tremendous actor with a great deal of fame in Russia, so I understand the casting, but he didn't blow me away as the performance of the year. That doesn't mean it's not going to happen.
Now, Kieran Culkin seems to have the inside track after winning at the Golden Globes and Critics' Choice and BAFTA. Tell us about his role in A Real Pain.
I think he was absolutely wonderful. And with Jesse Eisenberg, they play two cousins who kind of get back together because their grandmother passed away and leads them a trip to Poland to find out where she came from. And the two of them are absolutely incredible together. Kieran Culkin has lots of problems, but he's so endearing, and we know him since he's been a child. I mean, I think of Kieran Culkin, and I think of Father of the Bride and all the things he did as a member of the family of the Culkins. But he's really strong in this film. It's a very entertaining, very subtly sad but beautifully done. Jesse Eisenberg's film, and being of my role in El Paso Pro Musica, I must mention that Chopin is what inspired Jesse Eisenberg with respect to the scores and all of that while they were in Poland. So that was another attraction. But I think Kieran Culkin is there for the win.
All right, Edward Norton, who played Pete Seeger in A Complete Unknown.
That's a fabulous role. He's a fabulous actor. He is worthy of a nomination. I don't know if he'll win it. I don't think so. But he was extraordinary as Pete Seeger, and the whole history of America during that time when Bob Dylan became such a star was fascinating, and he helped make it so.
And then Guy Pearce in The Brutalist. He plays the industrialist and benefactor to Adrian Brody's architect.
And you corrected yourself and you said he was the brutalist. He was. He was such a brutal individual. He's a wonderful actor. I absolutely hated him in the film. He was so awful, and so much happens to where you're just in shock. And I think he's a wonderful actor. I remember him from LA Confidential back in the day, and now there's all these things coming out. I mean, that's the story of Hollywood. There's always stories, the back end stories. But I can't imagine him winning this award. I think it will go to Kieran Culkin.
All right. Still ahead, our preview of the Oscars continues with a look at the nominees for actor and actress in a starring role. You're watching ABC 7 Extra Sunday.